Hello, Azukuru.
Hi, Azukuru.
Welcome back to your favorite channel, Mbia Nyamkuta Glass Table Talk. Who said it's favorite?
I think it is.
Yeah, I would like to believe it is. Yeah. In our last episode, we talked about getting used to that postnatal period, immediate postnatal makumba and the feeding and everything. There are things we need to touch on which are very, very important. Because remember, we talked about feeding, how much, how little colostrum is needed on day one, but as the baby feeds, the body produces more. And we all know what goes in need to come out. So, during pregnancy, the body is very clever. And ndifunge kuti pasi pano pane architect akakunda Mwari and the phenomenon of science. So because the gut has been formed, which is the digestive system, the body realizes that we have to prepare it. It's like when you're building a house, you know you need plumbing. So you already lay the pipes as the house is being built. It's not being used yet, but it will be used, right? So this is like the body making sure the digestive system is prepared. So the liver, which is developing, and the hepatic tree, sorry to use jargon, but I don't have any other way of explaining it. It produces substance that become meconium, which is the black tarry stool that sits in the baby's gut to make sure it stays in the right form, it's functioning well. That poo, babies sometimes can pass it vachirimkati, but mostly it's the first stool that you'll see when baby is born. And that stool shouldn't stay the same color for the first 3 days because the body is not getting in a lot of food. It's a little bit slower. So we expect that to go on for the first 3 days. Then as baby is eating more and is producing, the gut is moving a little bit faster, the poo starts changing color. It's now taking the color of the food that the baby is having, mixed with digestive juices, and the poo starts getting browner. If between day 4 to 6, I think the poo is changing color. It still got bits of green because obviously it takes a while for that to clear. And then from day 7 onwards, if it's a breastfed baby, the poo is a little bit mustard colored, and it's a little bit runny. For breastfed babies, the poo is a little bit runny because the breast milk has got a laxative effect that makes passing stool a lot easier. In bottle-fed babies, it might slightly be different, but either way, the poo should be changing color as the days go by. Do you want to add on to something onto the answer?
Yeah. Just to add on the breastfed babies and the formula-fed babies, that just explains why formula-fed babies have a lot of colic and have a lot of problems passing poo. They get constipated a lot just because of the absence of that. Okay, just still on that, that just explains the reason why formula-fed babies get constipated and have colic more than breastfed babies, because formula doesn't have that laxative effect that breastfeeding breast milk has. So just to clear that, you might be wondering why my baby has a lot of colic and difficulties in passing poo. It's because of formula, but it's also normal for breastfed babies at times to have that colic, and constipation is all normal as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's not uncommon that a baby might skip a day without passing poo, and we'll go back to musape vana mafuta. Please. I think it's something that we have to say in every video.
Yeah,
it's not recommended. And it will never be recommended. It's not a cure for constipation. First of all, look at what the cause of the constipation is before you try and and cure the constipation in unconventional ways, which we know are dangerous anyway. So try not to give an amafuta, and make it a habit of really checking the contents of your nappy. When we talked about poo, let's talk about wee as well. As more milk comes in, just like when you drink more water, you pee a lot. So you'd find that maybe between day 1 and 2, the nappies are not that wet, but babies should be passing urine because that system is working. Babies should be passing urine. So check the nappy. Some nappies these days, like the Pampers, I think they've got a line, that's a yellow line that turns blue when baby is past poo. So those are some of the things to look at. And the nappies you should be getting more nappies, and they should be getting heavier as your baby is taking more and more feeds. And generally looking at your baby's health. If they got a good muscle tone, are they kicking? Are they fussing? Are they waking up for feeds? Don't be comforted by a baby who goes to sleep at 10 o'clock and you get to 6 o'clock without that baby feeding. Because maybe it's that baby who doesn't have energy to cry.
Yeah.
So set your alarm. You shouldn't pass 3 to 4 hours without feeding your baby. And whilst we are on there, we'll also touch about sleeping arrangements, which I'll hand over to Buyatari.
All right. So just still on the breastfeeding, I think people struggle a lot when it comes to waking up their babies. They don't know what to do to wake them up because they are just sleepy. You try to lift them up, you try to put them on the breast, they are just sleepy. You can remove baby's clothes, undress baby, and put them back on again.
Or just remember to leave the nappy.
Of course. So that can wake baby up as well. Or you can go outside for a breeze. Just like you, when you're asleep, when you leave the house, when you get a bit of fresh air, you're awake. So the same happens with baby, because we don't want an oversleepy baby, because an oversleepy baby means that baby will not get enough. And remember that this baby is now not living with the placenta. The baby now has to fend for themselves. If they don't have enough, then they will have problems. So that is very, very important.
Okay, going back about sleeping arrangements, which Beatari was supposed to talk about.
I was supposed to talk about
but
it.
she skipped it. She bounced it back to me.
I think I've got pressure of speech because I haven't been here for a long time. So bear with me. So let me talk about it. That's fine. So there's what we call safe sleep. Safe sleep, it's all about preventing what we call sudden death infant syndrome. A baby can just wake up not there anymore. But at times you don't really think how was the baby sleeping? Was the baby not covered in heavy like linen? Was there not a lot of things in the cot? Were we not sleeping with the baby in our bed? All of those things. So you need to sleep in the same room with baby at least for the first 6 months. Why? So that you observe your baby. You are there to see everything that happens to your baby. And it's also good for bonding, right? So baby should be in a cot. Separate. Don't sleep with baby pambeta. And that's it. Because imimi, you have my blankets but that baby cannot push that linen away. That linen might suffocate the baby, right? So the baby needs to be in the cot, and they should sleep on the back. I think some years back, babies used to lie on their tummy. Now we don't encourage that anymore. Baby should lie on their back always, right? And when we swaddle baby, let's not make it too tight. Let's leave like space so that they can move their limbs freely, right? And if we're to cover them, let's just cover up to the chest. Not too high up there, because that might suffocate them. Let's not put too many things in the cot. I know we are so excited. We've got all the Disney
whatever
characters in the cot, but it's very important to think as well that if somehow it's not really placed like rakanaka, it might just fall on baby's
the
nose,
baby's face,
and that might suffocate the baby because the baby cannot push it away. So rather, if you have toys, put them at the edge of the cot, and always remember not to put the baby's feet close to the edge of the cot. Leave space so that the baby can move freely.
Whilst you're there, for those who can't afford a cot, because it's not everyone can afford a cot, you can put you can have a Moses basket, and I think a Moses basket it's more affordable for most people than a cot bed. So at least baby should sleep separately from you. And these days there is what they call next to me, where you can attach to the bed, to the edge of the bed, and your baby's there, but not in your bed. So let's take those measures seriously. There is one thing I just want to point out. When you've got your baby on the breast, especially in the immediate infancy, make sure when you're breastfeeding baby can move their neck, so that they'll move backwards if they feel they are suffocating. And for those who are gifted bust-wise, like Mbuya Koni, your breast can actually suffocate your baby.
That's true.
So always make sure your baby's nose is free when you're breastfeeding the baby, because there have been unfortunate cases where the mother's breast smothered the baby. It wasn't intentional. She probably fell asleep whilst the baby was on the breast, and this is the aim of all this we are doing to educate and empower. And
just before you move from there, if you feel sleepy, if you feel that I'm sleepy, put the baby in the cot, put the baby in the Moses basket first, rest, and then carry on.
Exactly. And never ever sleep with a baby on the sofa, because one, there is a risk that baby might fall. Two, baby might get wedged between you and the sofa. And don't smoke around the baby. If anyone is smoking around your baby, make sure they are taking off the clothes that they were smoking in, because there is a lot of toxins that come out from smoking. And I think I did I think it's on TikTok, where I was talking about you are safeguarding your baby. I think we need to do a separate video talking about the do's and don'ts when people come to see your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that video as well, we are going to talk about the tradition of kukanda manamdenga and shaking the baby. We are going to touch on that, which are very, very important subjects. So stay with us.
See you next time.
See you right back.